Okay, going into the day, I was bullish. I'm going to show you exactly why I was bullish, what made me look for longs. So, looking at the charts on the hourly, when I first hopped on the charts, I was initially looking for longs. I posted my pre-market analysis. I was bullish. I wanted to see rejection higher, and I wanted to see price rebalance midnight open. Why is that? Well, narrative shows I actually had a level up here as well, but looking at the midnight open, there was no manipulation through the midnight open, so I was completely bullish on the day. My plan for the day was to secure some sort of macro long entry up into this level, and if I haven't found any type of long entry, I will look for shorts, and that is my full honest narrative and bias. So with that in mind, I mean, we'll just see how the day plays out, and I'll just go over it. We made $900 today, hit a clean long, and I will show you that trade. I'm just going to go over the narrative real quick, and one more thing I want to mention about this, now that I see this marked out. On the hourly, I saw this whole move as power 3. Accumulation, manipulation, distribution, up into this open. So this is the accumulation right here. On the 50-minute, you can see it a little bit clearer. Same thing here, this is accumulation. This is the manipulation off of the New York opening range, and I want to see distribution higher. And it's really simple what I had here. We had 2 entries today, 2 trades today that would have been really nice. I screwed myself over. I could have made 4,000 today following my logic, but I didn't. I think it was just a result of taking an L last week that I wanted to make everything back. But, I mean, I don't really think the day... I never thought the day would come where I'd start complaining about $1,000 wins. But, full narrative, after the manipulation lower, we can see that all of this is manipulation based off of the first presented gap. I always use the first presented gap as a marker to show whether we're bullish or bearish. Now, I was looking for the confirmation that we were bullish off of this, but going over this, we actually had a beautiful bottom tick entry with the original macro model. And looking how we ran up this low, this is a high probability inversion right here. This is the shift in market structure. So to go over everything we're doing here, we're disrespecting bearish PD arrays, we're being supported by bullish ones, showing change in state of delivery. These inversions are being disrespected and supported by bullish, and you can see we're forming breakaway gaps down here where we're just not returning to these gaps. Now, high probability inversion right here, close above it. I really want to long off of this, but I wasn't sure yet. I want to see back into the first presented gap and potentially look for continuation shorts, which that is a problem of mine that I want to destroy. I don't trust the draw on liquidity sometimes. Sometimes if I had like full confidence, like if I did in the Philippines, my trades will look something like this. Breakaway gap, high probability inversion during macro. We're fully bullish. My draw on liquidity for the day is midnight open. And I stated this, I need to drill into my head that once my draw is set, I need to trust my analysis and just execute. Because if I didn't hesitate and I was anticipating this first presented gap to get inversed, I would have hit a crazy trade like this. This would have been like almost 7K with just one NQ contract. And I would have gladly hit this off. But I didn't, so I mean that's some hesitation or whatever is going through my head again. But to read price a little bit further, within this macro you can see we're just what was it called? We're just going higher. We're parabolically expanding higher, leaving these gaps open, showing how bullish price is after doing our manipulation. So we're distributing higher. We have reversal confirmation. The final thing that showed that we were bullish was this. Okay, first presented gap, we start rejecting off of it, then we close above it. Now we have this BISI within the first presented gap. We come down here, we are rejecting off the first presented gap, and we are rejecting off of this BISI. I was looking for longs off this PXL within the macro, which would have hit if we just, what was it called? It would have hit if we had our stop at the first presented gap, knowing that we're rejecting off of it. Or inside of the live, I said I could see down at the 0.5 of it, then higher. So we had 2 decent entries right here for longs. I didn't take it. I was still shaky. Sam was going shorts. I don't really like fighting Sam for his bias. But once everything was confirmed, I waited for the next macro and I just strictly traded my model, which I love trading my model. It's really good. So going over the narrative, finally getting to the point in the trade that I took, what you guys are here for. Now, forming this 15-minute BISI, I want to see a retracement into it. I called this out in my channel, free analysis by the way, but look at this. In my channel, I told you guys in the live that I would be looking, I'll just give you analysis, I'll try to give you guys signals. This is going to the 1050 macro, I want to see lower. Whole reason why was because of that 15-minute BISI, I expected it to be IOFED and reject us up and push us up higher. So, I want to see SMT form here, and this would be a high quality setup. Now, something I go over with my students all the time. I always say this, I always mention this. If we aren't going to rebalance the range because of how bullish we are, at the bare minimum, if we're going to be taking a trade within macro, we need to have these internal sweeps of liquidity. We need to engineer liquidity prior to a bullish or bearish PD array. We have to run out with SMT to look for longs. I said this so many times. A lot of the students know this. If we aren't willing to rebalance the range, which typically, if we didn't have engineered liquidity, I would look for 0.5 of the range down here. I look for retracement all the way back down here and then higher. But with how bullish we are and how confident I was in our draw on liquidity, I wanted this as a criteria, which this is what made me look for this. I have been trading this model for almost a year at this point. I am so confident in what I'm seeing and how it's going to deliver within the macros that if it delivers exactly to how I'm writing it down, I will 100% take it without any hesitation because I'm very confident in my ability to identify my model and trade it. I feel like I have mastery because of all the times I've been through all my losing streaks, my drawdown, my periods of drawdown, and just knowing the ins and outs of how this model delivers. So, right here, look, we formed the SMT with ES. This is NQ forming SMT within macro. Another thing I want to mention is the macro open. We distributed lower immediately. So I'm considering all this to be manipulation. We're obviously bullish on the day, which that's something I need to get through my head. I struggle with that a lot. Now, coming down into here, we have this 5-minute and 50-minute BISTI that we're expecting price to run higher off of. So you can see this right here, rejecting higher, SMT at the low, coming inside this higher time for BISTI. Everything looks good for longs, right? All the narrative is here. We have SMT within macro. We have a bullish PDRA supporting us. We are inside a macro. We're below the macro opening price. We want to see distribution higher. And basically, I took longs off of this macro inversion, as you can see here. I took it on my alpha. I took it on a 50K core. So, right here, bang, shot longs, just boom. I wanted signal butters to take longs off this high probability inversion, which I'll get to that in a second. I took the entry because I'm very confident in the SMT lows holding. SMT is protected low. And especially because it's within macro, I say this a lot. During the macros, we tend to form lows in the session that we can easily put our stop at that low, or if we even get an entry at that low, we're safe. So that's why I love macros so much. Look, low within macro, we put in this low within macro, we put in this high within macro. Before the moves, you can see that this is just something that always happens. We put in this high. So for me, in my mind, every time we get some sort of entry on macro, like for example, this macro inversion here, after running this high, there could be so many other confluences. All I would have to do is put my stop at this high, target whatever I'd want, probably this low, and I can sit back comfortably knowing that my stop isn't going to get ran out. Same thing here. We put in a high here. If I get on side of the move, I can be confident that the macro high will remain in place. If I get a long, I can be confident that this is going to be the macro low, and I don't have to be worrying about that. Same thing here. Macro low, SMT protected low. I'm confident that I'm not going to get stopped out. Same thing here. If we're obviously bullish, macro low. If I get low, my stop is going to go below this low, and I'm just going to hold it. Same thing here, macro low. We can hold longs. And this is where price just gets so choppy off of our level. I'll get more into this in a bit, but I want you guys to fully take in the lesson I'm explaining here. But based on that, I fully trusted that my stop wouldn't get ran out off of what I just showed you today's examples. Please tell me I'm not muted. Okay, so basically from what you can see, SMT low, everything is good. Macro inversion, below macro open, bang. I shot the longs right there, 1 NQ, no fear. And I took myself out of the rejection block. That is so pathetic. I'm still so mad about that because I knew midnight open would get hit. I was so confident in the draw on liquidity being midnight open, and I was going to look for shorts off of it. The only thing that made me lose, or the only thing that made me close my trade early and just make me feel all crabby about the day was because I decided to take it off early at the rejection block. I wanted $900. I'm thinking $900 is good enough, even though I could have hit this absolute ballpark home run full take profit with confidence. I knew it was going to hit. A lot of the times I know my trade is going to play out. I'm confident in it, but I don't listen to it because of whatever reason. The reason I was telling myself right here, I can hold it on the core account, but I want to close on the alpha because the alpha has 40% consistency, and there's no way I'm going to be making 12 or 15K on this account. And then that's doubting myself. I shouldn't be doing that in the first place. And then on the core account, I'm already out on the alpha. Might as well get out and secure my profits. I want this $900. It's just I'm doing these it's just so minor, minuscule things that's keeping me. I'm the only thing holding myself back. My trading is fine. My analysis is fine. I'm confident every single day going into the charts, and I just don't execute on it right. It's just my own trade management just screws me out of it. Oh my goodness, $1,000, I could have made 4 today. And that would have been generational numbers for me. Markets are extremely volatile. But it's just something I do that I really hate, and I'm trying to purge it out on myself. In the Philippines, I understand that's why I was so profitable, because I was just entering, trusting the logic to draw, and I was just hitting it. I just sent it with my stop loss in place at a macro low, and I just let it run over 100 points, and I come back, I'm up 2K. I'm like, holy smokes. But it just makes me so mad. It riles me up. But anyways, high probability inversion aligns with this OT of the range. Remember macro low, same logic applies, which that's where the 705 long would have come, more than likely off the low of this macro inversion. Stop at the SMT protected low. We are not going to want to distribute lower than that. And you can see right here, straight up to midnight open, which I wanted to look for shorts off of. I'll go into the short reason in a second. If it was within macro, I probably would have tried pushing for it, but I only took this on demo. I was already done for the day. I just wanted to be done with my 1K because I was worried I was going to crash out for whatever reason if I ended up taking a loss. You can see here the level, it colored so far outside of the lines. The smartest option would be to entry trigger this. But I'm going to try to explain the level in a way, like really fast. This isn't all the confluences that go into it, maybe, but I'm just going to go into a clean chart, try to show you every single confluence for it. So, basically, starting from the daily, I actually got to mark on the midnight open so I can actually see where we're going to go, because I like going top down. Okay, but basically, daily rejection block right here, or just, I think this is just daily open that I want to see come back into. Going to the 4 hour change in state of delivery, high of new day opening gap, daily open aligned, multiple things aligning, and midnight open also aligns with this level. You can't see midnight open on the 4 hour, but on the hourly you can, which this is the midnight open, all within the same relative range of each other. Now, because of the devil's mark, I want to see lower price. So all this fits my narrative. I'm still heavily bearish. We're inside of a higher time frame CIVI, and on the daily, we're inside of a higher probability inversion. So you can see bodies are obviously respecting this high probability inversion. So I only want to see some wicking above it. I just want to see a little bit of play above this. Now, with this in mind, I was willing to go short off of it. My whole plan was to actually short off of this. Look, we reject off second standard deviation. I'm looking for a retracement. I'm not expecting price to run out this high, which is why we just started selling off. I want to see a retracement, then lower prices. Why? This whole gap is unfilled. Look at this major volume imbalance. Look at this new week opening gap that hasn't been filled. We want to come back down into that, so I'm still heavily bearish. Now, I mean, I would have been screwed over if I didn't catch the macro long, if I'm being honest, because I would have 100% shorted this. If I just got off at 950, went about my day, and left limits at shorts, I would have been destroyed. Like, I would have had a 15-point stop here with 1 EQ, would have taken me out, I would have come back, and I would have more than likely had, I think 1,200 is what I aim for consistency with my 60-point take profit. I would have come back and seen this. I would have been complaining to every single person on my server. Everyone would never hear the end of this. Like some of the trades, I just keep complaining about it. I hate that, but I mean, this was the level. We got stopped out of it on paper. Me personally, on paper. Some people got stopped out on their funded, which isn't too bad. But I will be looking for another level. I probably will only be trading macro model on my alpha account because that's the model I'm really good at. That's the model I have mastered. I trust it. And on my core accounts, I'm thinking about just crashing out on max sizing in these conditions and trying to make a ton of money, buy like an AMG or something or a new motorcycle. But do we have any questions currently? Dang, we got 12. Holy smokes. Okay, let's see this. From the top. Nice job, Romeo. Oh, dang, you're almost 18. Pickler, good win today, so nice job. 1 break even, 2 break even, 1 win. 100-point dubs. You guys have had really good... Yeah, you guys have had really good stuff. Bro, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you, Romeo. But yeah, he's trying to hit 6 figs. Also, Sam, I'm going to invite you. Don't say N-word or anything crazy. I'm recording for a recap. But yeah, do we have any questions about my trade or anything?
When I heard you say that, shit got me like,
But yeah, 200 points
sorry.
each account. That's crazy. But yeah, if you guys
Yeah,
have any questions about the model, any questions about how I trade, anything, just let me know before I upload this on my YouTube. And that's really it. You're a little bit late. Briefly explain the macro. I think you should watch the explanation, and then you can ask me questions after. Just hit me up, DM me. I'll answer your questions on the YouTube. I'm trying to make this
yeah.
recap quick and clean.
Some QT trader. Oh, you know him. He's like, what I want to see. Zone. He wants to go bullish to all-time highs. We get a breaker structure. That's the end of the bearish market maker. Continuation entry to longs. Put in a daily bullish SSMT with YM. Yes, we push further down, and then that's the start of the bullish market maker model to accumulation highs. We might also sweep the low, then see a daily. I want us to push further below to finish the market maker, and then push us higher to all-time highs. Okay. Yo. Oh, he wants to hop on call. We should hop on call him
Yeah, we
after.
will.